Something we've covered extensively on this program, police appear to be under attack. It's already been a tragic year for police in 2022. 2 officers fatally shot in New York, another in Houston, and another in Los Angeles. And we're only 1 month in. But a new op-ed by Newsweek argues we shouldn't abandon the defund the police movement. It just needs to be rebranded. Joining me now for more, retired LAPD Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey and retired Anne Arundel County, right here in Maryland, Police Captain T.J. Smith. First, what do you think, Sergeant Dorsey, does the defund the police movement need? And I'm assuming you're going to say it's not rebranding.
Well, listen, I mean, when you say defund the police, it means different things to different people. And so while I don't support defunding the police at all, the problem is that I think there are errant officers who are engaging in misconduct and who are not being held accountable. And while every loss of life is tragic, let's not pretend that any of this stuff is new. For those who like statistics, according to the gun violence archive under Trump, there were 276 officers killed or injured in 2018, 298 in 2019, and 347 in 2020. So this isn't anything new, but police sheriffs, commissioners, and chiefs need to do a better job in bridging that gap between community and police.
Right. Okay, TJ, polling shows that phrase, defund the police, is unpopular, and there are a lot of people here in the Capitol, Democrats in particular, moderate Democrats, who feel as though it cost them a lot of votes in the last election. But the policy to redirect police funding is popular. What's your sense of what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, the branding is horrible, and that's why it's caused this much grief. And the politicians who continue to perpetrate that language they're actually the ones, I think, that make the streets a bit more violent, not just for police officers, but for their communities, because the bad guys have been given a signal that we're kind of on your side here. And oddly enough, that's not what the case is. You can walk through communities, and not only Baltimore, but in Chicago and Minneapolis, where people who are seeing the violence day to day want police in their community, but they want the police to respect them, and they want to have that type of relationship. And they'll say, we don't want to defund the police, but would they rather have more mental health services and things like that available instead of police? Yes. So articulating it has been a huge problem. Right.
So, Sergeant Dorsey, do you think it's an anti-police sentiment that we're seeing here? It's contributing to the recent rise in violence against police? Or is this symptomatic, at the end of the pandemic? Well, I'm saying the end, 2 years into the pandemic, going on our 3rd year. Is this something symptomatic of larger problems or anxiety? I hate to indulge in armchair psychology, but there's a lot going on out there, a lot of unrest, a lot of people who need help and are feeling the mental health implications of what we've seen and experienced over the last couple of years.
I think it's a compilation of both. And while I don't say no to anything, certainly having mental health funding added to police departments would be helpful. But listen, for real, when you're in the midst of a traffic stop or a domestic violence call, we don't have the time to freeze frame and call in a clinician. When you stop somebody who just ran a red light, you may not necessarily know that this person is bipolar and having an issue. And so training is important so that officers know how to deal with these individuals appropriately.
Right. So New York police held a funeral service, obviously very somber, a lot of pomp and ceremony for Detective Jason Rivera the other day. He was shot and killed in the line of duty, as we know, but one actress had an issue with the ceremony. Take a listen.
We do not need to shut down most of lower Manhattan because one cop died for probably doing his job incorrectly. Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Okay, she's mad because they shut down the streets to have a funeral. I believe it was at St. Patrick's, right in Midtown Manhattan. So what do you think of that criticism? What does it mean? What does it say about attitudes towards the police? TJ.
Well, I mean, that's just ridiculous. And, I'm sure the Sarge had this experience as well. If we had a traffic crash investigation and we had to shut down the road, people complained about that. But every family deserves the respect that these officers got. And, we just had to bury Officer Kiana Holly of the Baltimore Police Department, who was killed and ambushed at the end of 2021. She was just buried just a couple of weeks ago. And this week, we unfortunately have to bury 3 Baltimore City firefighters who were killed in the line of duty in a fire. And when the roads are shut down, around and the long processions happen, and you see all of the people of all ethnic and racial backgrounds gathered as one to salute their heroes, because they know at the end of the day, the overwhelming majority of the men and women who put on those uniforms are heroes. That's what really matters. And we have to work together to bridge these gaps, but we can't let some of these narratives overtake reality, especially from people who do not live in these communities that they're saying, let's remove police from. They aren't living there, suffering the trauma that a lot of these individuals are suffering on a day-to-day basis.
Very well put. And we all, I think, want to come back to a time when people can respect a funeral procession for a fallen officer. Retired LAPD Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey and retired Anne Arundel County Police Captain T.J. Smith. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On